What's up guys, J-Man back here again, and I'm going to be posting another review of The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 7, Heads Up. Wow, must I say, fantastic episode. I have my dislikes and likes about the episode, so let's just jump right into it. So, the beginning of the episode, we actually get a reassured of Glenn's fate. And obviously we find out that he's alive. Like, what, 99.9999% of fans obviously guess he's alive. Mainly because all the set photos, and if you go on the Spoiling Dead fan page, they release plot points and photos of future episodes that they're filming at the moment. And Steven Yeun is in the pictures. So, it's pretty cheap, just like everybody guessed. I mean, he escapes by sliding under the dumpster, and that was Nicholas's guts on top of him. And yeah, you know what? I'm kind of not too upset about that. About it being way too far-fetched, a cliche, mainly because, like, I was like, how do you slide under a dumpster? But, like, I could see someone as thin as Glenn being capable of doing that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's understandable, but still spineless writing. But I have to contradict myself on that point because, really, these guys are survivors since Season 1. They've been at it since the beginning. They've been out and about in the world. So they know how to adapt to their environment, to human nature in these types of situations. They know how to kill or to be killed. So, it makes sense, and people like Alexandrians, they die more often, but that's because they are not adequate or physically fit for this type of world. So, anyways, we see that happening. Enid throws a water bottle down to help him out, and we have this whole banter thing with Enid and Glenn, and Glenn's just trying to help her. She's like this rebellious teenage girl, yada, yada, yada. Makes me spite Enid so much more. I mean, she just becomes such of an irritating character. I mean, she's so depressed, got that same demeanor on her face. It's like Deanna all over again. It's a bit ridiculous, but also we see Ron's demeanor and suspicion grows. There's an intense subplot that's growing with Ron. I mean, foreshadowing Carl getting his eye shot out? I don't know. We'll have to see in the mid-season finale, but we see Rick helping him out in shooting practice. Rick's not going to be so accepting to give him ammunition to fire, bullets, but he does practice shots, and we see Ron's a bit upset. I'm like, okay, trying to seem stable, but he's really not. We also see him steal ammunition from Denise, as like he just kind of does this distraction thing where he tips something over and she walks over there and he takes like 6 or 7 bullets. And we see that grow throughout the episode, but I'll get into that in a minute. We see Morgan dealing with Rick's moral gray area, meaning that we see Morgan try to convince Rick to be more, because he feels like Rick's being way too morally justified with his actions. Like, he feels like it's the right thing to kill, but Morgan, learning Aikido and peacekeeping, this sort of thing, the peace of life. He wants to preserve life. That's why he lets the wolf live. And that also grows out the episode with Morgan attempts to get antibiotics from Denise. And it's funny. It grows and it keeps growing, the plot, because it's funny. He goes in Denise's house and he's talking to him about his like wound that's swelling or something. And she wants to check it out. And he's like, oh, well, I'm going to be honest. It's not for me. It's for someone else. And he leaves with the antibiotics. And we see Denise follow him. And we see Carol is about to go follow him too. And it's interesting how Carol confronts him. Right when he leaves the door, the area of where the main wolf is, Carol confronts him. He's like, so who's in there? And we just see it cut from the scene right there, and we don't see them throughout the rest of the episode, and it just kind of leaves like that question, his actions in question. So that'll be interesting to see in the mid-season finale. We also see Spencer attempt to pulling a Batman trick. He puts a wire across with a hook at the end of the gate or like the wall, and he's trying to get to the tower. He's trying to get like pulls some trick where he gets into a car and he drives away. It distracts the walkers from Alexandria. It fails, it snaps, and we see Spencer die. I'm just kidding, no. He swings into some walkers. Tara almost puts herself at risk of dying. She hangs on the side of the wall and starts shooting walkers. Rick pulls him up. Near-death situation. Rick ends up getting upset with Tara. Tara gives him the bird. I thought that was one of the most humorous moments in the episode. Because, Spoiling Dead posted, like, someone gives Rick the bird, and I'm like, Ron? I don't know. And I'm like, oh yeah, obviously Tara. I mean, she's the one that's just, like, so humorous and everything. So, that was funny. Rick later apologizes because, he feels self-guilt and remorse for what he was yelling at Tara and his people, because these people are basically like his family now, throughout the seasons. We also see Ron lurking behind Carl. It's foreshadowing of Carl's eye getting shot out, and that gets pretty... That moment at the end of the episode, as like tension grows between each subplot, we see Carol catching Morgan in the act of a lie and questioning him. We see Ron lurking behind Carl with a gun, pulling a gun from the back of his pants, and it's just growing. And then we see balloons are released to give a sign of Glenn's survival, and he's alive. See Maggie's so much in grace, and she's so excited, and happiness, joy, everything. And by the end of this episode, we see the tower collapses, and we see some sort of, like, it's cracking throughout the episode, and it finally collapses by the end, and it just completely brings out a portion of the wall that was built at Alexandria, and all these walkers are seeping through. So we see that No Way Out is coming into play here, the storyline from Robert Kirkman's The Walking Dead. So that will be interesting. Is Carl's eye going to get shot out? I don't know. I mean, there's set photos on Spoiling Dead, blurry pictures of the actor Chandler Riggs with an eye patch. So that will be interesting to see. But damn, the way they ended it, I'm going to be so upset once we see, after the mid-season, we won't get Walking Dead for another 2 months. So that will be upsetting, but let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. I really enjoyed this episode. Subtle progression throughout the episode, and then intensity the last 5 minutes for what we see to come in the mid-season finale. So, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.